So this is the Daytona Reptile Breeders Expo here in Daytona, Florida. This is an expo that is kind of unlike other expos in that you are going to find some amazing diversity in reptiles and amphibians here, and that includes colubrid snakes, typical snakes that aren't boas and pythons. So in this video, I'm going to tour the Daytona National Reptile Breeders Expo and show you guys some of the really amazing colubrids that are found right here at this Reptile Expo. I'm Dave Kaufman, and these are my Reptile Adventures. So over here at Major League Exotic Pets, you are going to find a lot of really cool colubrids, including this one. This is a Mandarin Rat Snake, and these are one of the most beautiful rat snakes in the world. They have this slate gray ground pattern, and look at that yellow diamond pattern all the way down its back. And these are found in a mountain range in China, and they are therefore kind of cold-tolerant rat snakes. And it took a long time for us to kind of figure out that these should not be kept as warm as North American rat snakes are. And as soon as we figured that out, captive breeding initiatives began, and now these snakes are readily available, captive bred, big, beautiful, and healthy snakes. But if you've never seen a Mandarin rat snake before, these guys are jaw-dropping. These are one of the most beautiful rat snakes out there. But it's not just this cool snake that they have here. There's something else I want to show you guys here. So this is Alan Both at Major League Exotic Pets, and we just filmed that beautiful Mandarin rat snake. And as I had the camera off, you told me a story about them first coming in years ago, like back in the 90s.
70s, 70s and 80s.
70s and 80s.
70s, 80s, those snakes came in, and they came from Asian food markets, and you know, they weren't kept under proper conditions.
Right.
A lot of times they would probably not have any bile in their gallbladder because they would take the bile out of their gallbladder.
So they would stick a syringe in the snake, take the bile out of the gallbladder.
Snakes that are, you know, or have no gallbladder and be stitched up and have their gallbladder removed.
And that's how the Mandarin rat snake came into our hobby, was through the Asian food markets.
Initially, those didn't live, but then that stirred an interest for people to get them collected, you know, for the pet trade more than for the food trade, which is what a lot of them were collected for over there. So
have a look at this big, beautiful snake. If you've been watching the channel for a while, you know that I am a sucker for big colubrids, and I really want to work with these one day. Problem is that I travel too much, and I just can't keep my dream snakes yet. As soon as I stop traveling, I'll get some of these. But this isn't just a crebo. This is a patternless crebo, and these are naturally occurring in a small little range in Central America, in Honduras, and along the Caribbean coast. And we all know that some crebos have black up front, some crebos have black in the tail, but these are uniform patternless. And these are, again, a naturally occurring form of crebos. And I just got back from Honduras, and I looked hard for these in the wild. Didn't see them, but to come here and see this beautiful snake, man, this is not as good as finding them in the wild, but a close second. These snakes have a reputation of being just flighty, being bitey, being just a handful. But look at how this snake is reacting to me. It is all in how you handle the snake. But this is not a flighty, bitey snake at all. She's just very curious, just wondering what's going on. Just an absolute beautiful colubrid that you can find here at the Daytona Reptile Expo. Man, I'm in love with these. How much you got these for?
$2,000
$2,000 for the pair for these.
They're captive bred.
And these are obviously captive bred. They are in perfect shape, perfectly healthy, perfect body weight. $2,000. All right, guys, as soon as I stop traveling around, I'm pulling the trigger on these guys. I absolutely love big colubrids. And this guy takes the cake. What a beautiful snake. So this is Chris from Charm City Reptiles. You have one of the coolest colubrids I've seen here.
All right, so I've known this dude since 2008, and now Dave's a customer.
That's right.
And a friend.
That's right.
And an awesome dude.
That's
And he has this glorious mane of hair. And Dave loves Ship Your Reptiles.
Yes.
Because
and with the amount of money that I save on using Ship Your Reptiles, I can afford some really nice shampoo. So for all your reptile shipping needs, visit shipyourreptiles.com or visit the link in the description below. Sorry, they don't sell shampoo. I have never seen a black rat snake morph like this.
It's a rusty het calico.
Rusty Het Calico.
Yeah, they're apparently allelic. The Rusty gene was, I think it was caught in Baltimore back in the 80s. And a Rusty to the Rusty makes a leucistic black rat, a blue-eye leucistic. And I'm surprised that nobody's done this breeding before, but it was about 4 or 5 years ago. I put a calico to a super Rusty leucistic and produced these, and it was shocking.
So right here, you have an albino Lucy, a super Rusty.
Yep.
You've got a white side black rat here,
Yep.
and then you've got albino black rat here. Wow.
This is an albino Rusty.
Okay, so here's the albino Rusties up here. And that is absolutely incredible. I mean, it has like, it looks creamsicle, first of all, but then it has these white blotches all the way down its side, giving it like this checkered pattern. That is the most impressive black rat snake I've ever seen. How much are you selling these for?
About $250.
$250, that's not bad at all. All right, so this is Lee Abbott, and if you've ever heard of the Abbott line Okatee corn snake, that's the dude right there.
Hello.
Let's see some of your Okatee.
This is the animal that I've worked with for over 35 years of the 45 years I've been breeding corns. And, you know, I've line bred them, and I have never really done much with my pure animals. I don't make hets with them. I do have projects where I've brought other genetics into them, but this is a line I've had for a long time that just have really thick black and really beautiful orange.
Oh, yeah.
So it speaks for themselves, and one thing I learned a long time ago is don't try to sell a hatchling and convey to people what they're going to become.
Sure.
And the way you do that is you hatch them earlier in the year and you grow them.
Right.
And I spend the whole summer raising these up and getting them fed and grown, and they shed several times. And they look fantastic by the time they're, you know, 5, 6 months old. But I do a lot of different colors. I'm known for Okatees, and I'm known for combining things with Okatees, but I like variety, just like everybody.
Yeah, like we got a
There's lot of
red
interesting
coat
things.
Okatee right
Yeah,
here.
that's a gene that is also from that part of the country. These are animals from Steve Roylance. I've acquired them a few years back
Sure.
from him, and they're a really pretty animal. That's a photograph of their mother. You can see it's extremely red, and you can see how it affects the normal pattern. These are juveniles. You know, a lot of things express better immediately and some develop.
Right.
So this is the kind of gene that, from what I've heard, a lot of things look better once they grow, but they're obviously pretty. And once again, I like variety. I do a lot with the sun-kissed gene too, which is also an Okatee type thing. You can see here that
Right.
these are sun-kissed with lavender. And I also have sun-kissed with the Miami look, which is what was started by Walter Smith.
Yep.
These are nice
absolutely.
examples of the orchid, and I've also done butter with Okatee.
Oh
for a
yeah,
long,
look
long
at that.
time.
So
And-
this is a butter Okatee here.
Yeah, that's been around for about 20 years on my line, and others have done it as well. It translates very well. You can see the borders very easily, and they're kind of a parquet colored butter. And when they're little, but they get extremely yellow. The new thing for me, which I was talking about last year in the US ARC interview, was the Miami look.
Yeah.
And that is also a Walter Smith idea. I've got 2 parts of his line, the ones that are het caramel and het amel, but I've also developed some of my own. We're starting to get a vanishing effect and a dorsal stripe effect that we believe is terrazzo.
Ooh.
So we're still investigating that, but it's one of those things where you know there's 8, 9, 10 genes, and there might possibly be 11 or 12 genes
Right.
causing this. But the primary things are cinder and sun-kissed. But it's truly coming from the fact that the cinder gene influences things this way and makes them blue, gray, and you get the bright colors and the really cool head patterns. Because cinders can have really cool looks to them, but the sun-kissed are the ones that always have the real weird arama heads, and you combine them and they're just fantastic. So
These are
it's a lot of
awesome.
fun. This is an albino version of the Walter version of the Miami. This isn't a really good example of candy cane, but it's pretty.
Yeah.
It has the right pattern. Eventually, people will line breed these, and you'll get the white background and so on, but that's always open for line breeding.
Wow,
And you can
these
do a
are
lot of things with
fantastic.
all of these different effects.
So how you've been working with corn snakes for?
Since 1979. That's when I hatched my
1979.
first corns.
Wow.
So a long, long time. I've worked with other species, but I've kind of decided I like to do things corn snakes only.
Gotcha.
And you can make them look like so many different things, and the genetics thing
Yep.
is really, really interesting.
So within the corn snake world, we actually owe you quite a bit.
Well,
For the work
I
that
don't like
you've
to
done
toot my
and-
own horn.
Well,
I have
I'll
lots
toot
of
it
friends
for
that
ya.
do that for me, so I'm good.
Well,
But,
Lee, always great to see you. Always great to see your corn snakes. Thanks for showing these off.
All right.
I really think that corn snakes are going to rise again to be one of those snakes
Oh, I
that
think
everybody
they've
wants?
always been popular. There's always other interests competing, but
Sure.
I think if you have the passion, you know, and you pursue excellence and you see all the neat things that other people are doing, a lot of what I'm doing too. With
Right.
different versions
Right.
or completely different types
Right.
of corn. So the people who stick with it, you know, it's worth it. It's worth the effort. So
I agree. Thank you, my friend.
you're very welcome.
And speaking of corn snakes, here is Bud Foltz. You have some pretty amazing corn snakes on your table as well.
Thank you.
What strikes my eye first is the scaleless palmetto. Is this the world's first scaleless palmetto?
I was one of the first in 2020 to produce the scaleless palmettos. All right. And the first two I produced were annuary scaleless palmettos, which this female here is one of the two that I produced in 2020.
World's first annuary scaleless palmetto right there.
And then the snow scaleless palmetto 22 years ago in 22. I've produced 35 visuals altogether now in the past 4 years.
And these are 10K a pair.
Well, that right there, because they're holdbacks from last year, I thought maybe somebody might be willing, you know.
Hey,
We're in Daytona, so you got to go
it doesn't
for it, right?
hurt to ask,
It doesn't
right?
hurt to ask.
But this snake
But-
is absolutely stunning.
Yeah, they are really pretty.
And now if you
So-
were to sell this one, what would you be asking?
Well, he's a breeder and stuff, so I mean, I wouldn't take less than probably 10 grand for him himself.
For him himself.
Yeah.
That is an expensive corn snake.
Yes, absolutely.
Wow.
Because next year he's going to breed with her, make some more beautiful babies like that.
Right?
So, yeah.
That's an investment quality corn snake
Yeah,
right there.
absolutely, big time.
Wow. And so how long have you been working with corn snakes?
For about 32 years, and I've bred corn snakes years ago before they had all the incredible
The morphs, right?
So now it's been a little more exciting. The last 7 or 8 years, I've gotten back into corn snakes, and this is another project
Oh,
that
look at this.
I imported these from Italy 4 years ago from a place called Stunning Snakes in Italy, and they are stunning. You know, that's why I had to do that. So
Fire Extreme Pied Line.
yeah, I mean, just such high white. It's crazy, man. It's
Wow. These are incredible.
These couple little babies right here came from this pair here. Yeah, you just don't see a whole lot of the extreme white like that. And people I've talked to in the States that have worked with them for years, they say, oh, you know, the pie thing's really random. You don't hit that many.
Sure.
So that's why when I started dealing with the company in Italy and talking to her and realizing that she produces these, she's just perfected it basically over the last 15 years.
Yeah, well,
Because look at the amount of white.
Yeah,
that's,
it's
you know,
incredible.
It's like, yeah, it's amazing. So
when I go to the expos in Europe, I see these, and yeah, they are doing they're doing better things with our North American native snakes than we are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's kind of what's happened. Actually,
Yeah.
absolutely. So, but yeah, they're beautiful. Everybody that walks by in the show looks and like, what in the heck you got there?
Yeah, absolutely. Those
So-
are great. Well, Bud, thank you so much for showing those off.
Absolutely.
You really have some amazing corn snakes. And
Thank
it's really
you.
cool that you're right next to Lee.
Yeah,
we just
we've
saw
been
his
on-
snakes.
Yeah,
and
we've been together all the time.
that's
So,
fantastic.
Yep.
All right, well, have a great show. Thank you
All
so
right.
much.
Okay,
All
thank
right.
you.
So guys, that's just a few of the really amazing colubrids that you can see at the Daytona National Reptile Breeders Expo. Colubrids are coming back in a really big way, and I am all there for it. I have colubrids at home, mainly bull snakes, and I absolutely love colubrids. So guys, keep in mind that every other Tuesday on this channel, you're gonna find bonus videos just like this. So, as always, thanks for watching, and until the next reptile adventure, love the planet, feed your reptile obsession, and rattle on.